Okay, so we're talking about how there are two different kinds of equations of lines, two different forms for the equation of the line. So we talked about slope-intercept. That's where you know the slope and the y-intercept, and it looks like ym equals mx plus b. Now we're going to talk about point-slope form. The nice part about point-slope form is that you don't need to know the y-intercept. You can use any point on the line you want. So any point on the line, x1 and y1. That's a specific value. You're going to have a number for x1, a number for y1. And you need to know the slope, m. And then you can use the point-slope form, which looks like y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. Now remember, y and x should be in your answer, but y1, m, and x1 should all get filled in with numbers. Okay, so let's try to use this point-slope form of a line. It says, given the slope of negative 4/5 and passing through the point 1, 2, write the equation of the line in point-slope form. So y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. We have this guy labeled as m already, and we can label this point as x1, y1. So now I'm just going to match. Y minus y1 is 2 equals m, negative 4/5, times x minus 1. We can leave it just like that. We don't have to do any simplifying. This is the equation in point-slope form. If you wanted to, you could solve this equation for y, isolate the y, and it turns point-slope form into slope-intercept form, which is often easier for graphing or doing other things. So this is the point-slope form. You can enter it just like that. If they want you to get slope-intercept form, you could start with point-slope and then isolate the y to solve it into slope-intercept. Okay, let's try again. Write the equation of a line in point-slope form with an x-intercept of 1 passing through the point negative 2, 6. Okay, if the x-intercept is 1, that's the point 1, 0. If you think about it, it goes through this right here. It crosses the x-axis at 1. So if you write it down in coordinates, you would get x equals 1, y equals 0. So to put something in point-slope form, we need to find the slope. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the slope is going to be 0 minus 6 over 1 minus negative 2. So negative 6 over 3, or negative 2. So now I have my slope, negative 2. I have my point, x1, y1. I'm going to plug those numbers into my equation. Y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. Again, you don't have to do any simplifying, but we don't often write things with minus negative, so we could rewrite this as y minus 6 is negative 2 times x plus 2. Okay, so one more. If f is a linear function with f of negative 3 equal to 10, so remember that corresponds to the point x equals negative 3, y equals 10, and f of 5 equals 6, so 5, negative 6. Find an equation for the function in point-slope form. So I have 2 points. I'm going to use the slope first. So negative 6 minus 10 over 5 minus negative 3. So negative 16 over 8. The slope is going to be negative 2. My point-slope form is y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. So again, I can choose either point I want. If there's a point that doesn't have any negatives in it, I choose that one. If they both have negatives, then you can just choose away. So I'm going to use this one as x1, y1. So one answer could look like y minus 10 is slope negative 2, x minus negative 3. Or I could have chosen the second point. Y minus negative 6 is negative 2 times x minus 5. So the one con of the point-slope form is that it's hard to tell when two lines are the same. Like, it's hard to notice, just looking by inspection, that these two lines are exactly the same. If you tried to draw them, they would have all the same points in them. And that's hard to notice in point-slope form. Whereas in slope-intercept form, they would have the exact same equation. So I want to take these two that we just found and turn them into slope-intercept so that you can see that they represent the same line. So y minus 10 is negative 2 times x. Since I have minus minus, I'm going to turn that into plus 3. This one is y plus 6 is negative 2 times x minus 5. So to turn these into slope-intercept form, I'm going to try to isolate the y. So distribute y minus 10 is negative 2x minus 6. Add 10 to both sides. Y equals negative 2x plus 4. Do the same thing with the second equation. Distribute y plus 6 is negative 2x plus 10. Subtract 6 from both sides. Y equals negative 2x plus 4. So even though they looked different in point-slope form, they represent the same equation in slope-intercept form. So if you're given 2 points and you're finding point-slope form, you can use either of those 2 points and both answers will be correct.